Yo, 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 you already know who it is. And it's just me today. Bruh Amigos podcast. Without my amigo today, he's on vacation. But I got you guys covered today. We're gonna touch upon a few different things that's been going on, whether it's in the NBA, boxing. Boxing, of course, we got Ryan Garcia pets. He out there taking them drugs to help amp himself up. Canelo Alvarez and Jamie Munguia. It was a good boxing match last night. Went the difference. Well, went the distance. NBA recap. We're gonna talk about how good was that Minnesota game. Was AE, out here? Is he's the next major star in the making? I do think so. Patrick Beverly going the wrong way. MLB bombs away yesterday. So many runs scored across different games. And is the WNBA really dropping the bag on how they're framing this thing? And I'm going to talk about all of that today for Amigos Podcast. A little bit of a solo episode today. Let's go.
Bruh.
So, first, I want to talk about what's been going on right now with the Ryan Garcia accusations. The fact that they're saying that he's using performance enhancing drugs. And if you guys touch back to whenever we talked about the Ryan Garcia matchup with Devin Haney, I told you guys he looked big. He came in overweight, 3 pounds. He did pay the money and went through it. At no point did I ever think in my head that it could have been him taking performance enhancing drugs at all. I thought maybe that he just came in overweight. He wanted a little bit of extra pop, try to get something behind his power. But now with Devin Haney, taking the defeat and it being positive, Ryan does have a timetable to turn in a negative result. But this kind of makes him look bad. This makes him look bad at the point of, hey, Ryan, did you need this to beat him? And even people like Tank Davis have come to his defense. Uh, is it possible? Do I think that it's something that could have happened? Yes, I do. Do I think that Ryan is taking performance enhancing drugs? I would hope not, because I wouldn't want this to taint his win over Devin Haney. Yeah, he came in overweight, but a win like this is going to be crucial to him moving on to his next spot, whether it be a rematch with Tank or whoever it may be. With that being said, I do think that he needs to hope that this goes in the right direction for him. You don't want to mess up your bag, Ryan. You don't want anything like that. And you don't want this to tank. You don't want this to be a bittersweet victory over Devin Haney. Because I feel like this was a very defining victory and a comeback victory. After taking a loss to Javante Davis, how he took it, he got basically knocked out, body shot to the ribs at 135, which whenever I saw the matchup, I knew that this was a bad matchup because of the rehydration clause and all of that for him to fight Tank. Where he fought the 140, I feel like the 147, 154 is more suited for Ryan. Okay, I feel like that's where he might need to be. That's just my opinion. But I do hope the best that this doesn't taint his victory for him. So, hey, moving on. Canelo Alvarez, Jamie Munguia. If you did not watch this fight last night, I don't know why you didn't watch it. This is a precursor to what's leading up later on. You do have Tyson Fury's fight coming up with Usyk. Also, people are looking forward to Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. I'm interested in seeing it a little bit. I just want to see, what Mike has in the bag for Jake, if Jake has something for him. And I do want to see if Jake does happen to defeat Mike, will he stop this fighting older or non-boxers or people who just strikers and actually fight a real credible person? Not saying that Mike Tyson is incredible, but fighting Mike Tyson at 57 and fighting Mike Tyson at 25 is two different things. But back to the Canelo fight. Great fight last night. Munguia came out swinging the first couple rounds. Very energetic. 6 years younger than Canelo. Oh, excuse me. He tried to flurry Canelo a lot. Canelo did wind up dropping him at one point. It was just a masterclass of showing you how Canelo's developed over the years. Whenever I watched it, in a way, it reminded me of whenever Canelo first fought Floyd Mayweather. Being the fact of whenever Canelo first fought Floyd, he went through, Canelo was throwing a lot of punches. He was trying to just smother Mayweather. He was trying to make him give, and Mayweather's a defensive fighter. He's not going to just let you smother him with punches. But I watched Canelo counter shot, pick Munguia apart. Even though Munguia came out there with the energy, he got dropped, and Canelo was able to control the fight. He looked very comfortable in the later rounds, leaning against the ropes, picking his spots, hitting Munguia. Munguia could never recover after the knockdown. Gad went the distance, unanimous decision. It's one of those things where boxing has a great future with people like Munguia, Ryan Garcia, um, Terrence Crawford is still in there, Javante Davis, uh, Tim Titsu. All of those people are gonna help still push boxing. But it was great to watch a younger guy like Munguia get in the ring with a little bit older guy. He's not that Canelo isn't that old. He's 33. But get in the ring with Canelo, 60 fight veteran, well 60 plus fights because I want to say last night made it like 65th fight, like 20 something title defense. Canelo's been amazing in his career. Okay, it gave him the chance to go out there and show you, hey, I still got it, even after I want to say him and Triple G went to like a couple decisions and stuff like that, split victory. But it showed you where Canelo's level of boxing is compared to a lot of other people. He showed you whenever he fought Charlo shouldn't have went up that high to fight him. He showed you last night that even whenever people put pressure on him, he's not broken. He's not overwhelmed. He can come back. He landed way more shots than Munguia throughout the fight. He landed pivotal shots, knocking him down. I feel like whenever he rocked Munguia at one point, Munguia was like, this is my childhood hero who I'm fighting, and it's really real. And you could see that on his face at one point, and I was like, hey, you gotta respect that, bro. You have to respect what he went through last night. And do I think Munguia is still gonna be a player in boxing? Yes. Do I think he's still gonna be around? Yes. Who's his next fight? That's a good question. Do I think he'd ever get another shot at Canelo? Possibly in the future, but I feel like Canelo's gonna go where the money is, like he said last night. And wherever the money is, Canelo's gonna fight. And to be honest, that's where I want to see him, whether it be him and Terrence Crawford, because Crawford does have an upcoming fight that people think is going to be the next fight that's going to lead to him fighting Canelo, moving up in weight slowly but surely. Whether Crawford wins his next fight and it becomes Canelo Crawford, that could be a big money fight for both of them, for Canelo and Crawford. But I do want to see what Saul's next move is out there in boxing. Great boxing. He's going to have a glorious history. That was a very great Latin heritage fight that you got to watch last night because of the styles of the Latin boxers, where there's not a lot of clinching at all. It's a lot of blows being thrown. It's defense and a lot of punches. And I loved every moment of it watching it last night. Now, that's my little take on what I saw last night. Now, I'm going to kind of breeze through certain things. I'm going to try not to keep you guys too long. Now, I have to talk NBA. Minnesota, game 1. Anthony Edwards showed up. This is what I want to know from a lot of you guys. Was this the beginning of what is to come? Was this Anthony Edwards' Jesus and sneakers moment? Like whenever Mike played Larry? I see a lot of similarities of Mike and Anthony Edwards. Very athletic. He can hit his shots whenever he gets his spots, but he's super explosive right now. And he's hard on both ends of the floor. He's playing defense. He's getting back. He's making dunks. He's helping try to make plays. He has that very catch man mentality where, like Mike, a lot of people don't understand. Mike may not have been the best on ball defensive person, but he was a catch guy. You throw it back, he's playing the gaps, he's playing the lanes. Anthony Edwards has a lot of that in him. And he showed you, I can go get 40. And I think that he's carrying over his momentum from them sweeping the Suns. And he's bringing it to this fight with Denver. They go up on Denver 0-1. And it was amazing. Now, for you guys who paid attention, Jokic praised him for that. Jokic let him know, hey, man, he's very special. He's this, he's that. And people kind of asked, what do they think that they can do? And Jokic made the joke of him having a clown, having a clone himself. Now, me, do I think Jokic needs to clone himself? No. But do I think Mike Malone needs to get in his playbook? Yes. Mike Malone, I think this is your chance to showcase how good of a coach you are with plays and putting people in the correct position for them to succeed. Minnesota has three big men that they're going to throw at Jokic. They're going to try to wear him down. They're going to try to keep him off a lot of stuff. Do I think this may go 7 games? Yes. People like KG are thinking that this is going to go 5-6 games and Minnesota is just going to completely overwhelm Nuggets, which it possibly could happen. Anthony Edwards was just unbelievable. He really was. Now, if he can maintain this for the next 4 or 5 games and always put Minnesota in a winning position, they might be out of there early. This might be an early exit for Denver. We may see the reigning champs dethroned. In my personal opinion, I think that this is going to go 7 games. I think that they're going to make the proper adjustments and that this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. Now, what I do believe is that this series has to become more about Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. The supporting cast around Jokic is going to have to get this done. If I'm not mistaken, they pretty much split during the season, which is regular season. I want to say Denver, it was either 2-2 or 3-2 Denver's favor. But regular season is a regular season, and momentum carries in the playoffs. And right now, Ant-Man is the hot guy. He's hitting shots. He's getting to the goal. He's doing what he needs to do. Even with only Rudy and Karl Anthony Towns combining for like 26 and 17 rebounds, they went and got it done last night. Plus, you got to remember Minnesota has 6th man of the year. Nas Reed out there. They're going to figure out how to get this done to a certain level against Denver. Denver's going to have to make adjustments. We don't know how bad Jamal Murray is hurt, but I do know this. My personal opinion, this is going to have to be a Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and Aaron Gordon series along with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and those role-playing guys. They're going to have to be the ones that are going to have to outduel the rest of Minnesota. Do I think Minnesota has some guns with Anthony Edwards? Hell yeah. You got a guy who's extremely explosive. Cat can go off. Rudy can go get you a double-double. Daniels can come off the bench. He can go for you. Nas Reed is gonna give you probably 10 plus and 6-7 boards a night and a couple assists. But I think that if Denver wants to be successful, the key to them making a push and going to the finals is gonna be Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and Aaron Gordon, that supporting cast. This isn't going to be a thing of the major guns of Jokic. Jokic is going to get 20 plus, and he's going to get 8, 9, 10 boards, 8, 9 assists. It's going to be everybody else being very efficient and getting this done. Now, with that being said, I have the Nuggets winning game 2 tomorrow. I think that they make the necessary adjustments, or I think that we see a definite explosion in one of the major players over there in Denver. Somebody's going to go 30 plus, if not 3 of them going 20 plus, if not 4 of them maybe going for 20 plus with Aaron Gordon. I could see Jamal Murray doing it. I could see MJP, Michael Porter Jr. doing it. Excuse me. I could see this being one of those matchups where everybody goes 20 plus. They give it to them, they spread it around, and they get this done. But I do think Minnesota is equipped to deal with Jokic to a certain opinion. Well, to a certain extent. I do believe what KG said is right. Dwight Howard even talked about it on Twitter. You have to have bodies to throw at Jokic. That's how the Lakers beat him. They had Dwight. They had JaVale. They threw bodies at him. You have to keep people on him. You had AD on him at one point. You have to keep throwing people at him to make him work, to try to slow him down 24/7. That's how they got it done with Dwight. They threw Dwight out there. Dwight's big, athletic. He can stick with Jokic because Jokic isn't a very athletic big. He's a skill guy. And sometimes you need pure athleticism to try to stop pure skill. And it worked for Dwight because Dwight's a shot blocker. He's athletic. He's a rebounder. He helped LA get them there. that man should have a chance in the NBA to help somebody out because I feel like he would have been a perfect matchup for anybody facing Denver right now, even if you only keep him for the Denver and Minnesota matchups and matchups of big men where you need boards and you need stops. Now, also while I'm talking NBA, Pacers Knicks tomorrow. Some people are watching this, and some people that I know are like, it's whatever. I think that this is going to be another good series. Okay, young Pacers squad, Miles Turner, Tyrese Halliburton. They're missing not Mathune. They're missing Mathurin right now. I want to say that team very good with Spicy P, key person over there, Pascal. That team, I feel like, can go off at any moment. They're young enough to still gel together, and I think that they have a legit chance at being a problem for the Knicks because the Knicks don't have their Julius Randle right now. It's kind of a lot on Jalen Brunson's back, and some people are saying how much of an issue is Jalen Brunson going to be for this Pacers team. I can't definitively say how much of an issue he's going to be, but I do know this: you're going to stick 6'5" Tyrese Halliburton on him. Lengthy guard, long arms, can play the lane, he passes well, he can score, he can get rebounds. I feel like this is his matchup to shine against Jalen Brunson. If he can smother him, slow him down, and the Pacers can get out on the break, score, they have everything that they need to spread the floor. They have everything that they need to rebound. They're a more, I'm going to say, younger athletic team. And I feel like the Knicks are leaning on Brunson a lot because Julius Randle isn't around. Do I think that this can work in their favor? Yes. Do I think the Pacers have a chance to knock them off? Yes. I feel like the Pacers are in the right place at the right time. You got past Milwaukee, who Dame goes down, Giannis is out. They don't have anybody else. Like Dame was pretty hurt. You wind up beating them by 22. You spread the ball around. It was a great game for like Tyrese, Obi Toppin, TJ McConnell. That team has a lot of people that they can go to and they can spread the ball around and get buckets. Do I think that this is going to be a problem for New York? Yes, I do. I think that this is going to be a very, very, very big problem for New York. I don't think New York has the people, the right personnel to deal with what the Pacers currently have. I know that they have Isaiah Hardenstein. He's very good. They have OG Anunoby, very lengthy forward. Josh Hart has been out there playing a forward for him. He was like 16-14 whenever they played the Knicks, not the Knicks, the 76ers. I feel like Mitchell Robinson is going to have to play more because he's going to have to be out. He's going to have to help rebound. I feel like against um Miles Turner and those boys. But hey, I may be wrong about that. But I do feel like this is what's going to be. This is going to be another 7-game series. I don't see anybody just walking through the other person unless I feel like the Pacers get hot and they just walk through the Knicks because the Knicks and the Sixers was 7 games and it kind of came down to who could help who, which in the end it was Tobias Harris no showing, Joel Embiid going for like 40. Kelly Oubre was there. Tyrese Maxey showed up. He did what he did. Batum threw in. Buddy Hield threw in. But they just couldn't do enough. So I think if the Pacers are going to make a push and surprise anybody, it's going to be this year. Do I think that they're coming out of the East? No, my pick out of the East is clearly Boston. I feel like Boston is head above everybody else in the East right now. I'm already putting them in the NBA Finals again. It's just to see who comes out of the West at this point. Now, I want to touch on one more thing in the NBA before I get away from that. Patrick Beverley, what is wrong with you? You're refusing to talk to a reporter. You're promoting your own podcast, telling her if she's not subscribing, and you've thrown the ball at a woman for the wrong reason. NBA player, you get paid millions of dollars. You also have a podcast. Salute to you, man. You done something that millions of people wish that they could do, and millions of people wish that they could be NBA players, from kids who never make it, that are in their yard yelling Kobe, shooting at the goal, to want to be Mike, to want to be whoever their favorite player is. But I feel like this is not the road that you need to go down to, because now teams are going to look at you and say, do I really want this guy? Do I want to deal with this guy? And to me, no. I don't want to deal with this guy. Not if this is going to be his issue. I want to say the past 5 years, you've been on 5 different teams. That's not a good look. Nobody wants to keep you. Is it an attitude problem? What is it? Is it a scheme problem? I don't know. But I thought Milwaukee would have been the best fit for him, being a hard-nosed defender, to be able to help Dame, who Dame is high offense. It gives you a defensive look that you could put out there. But is Milwaukee going to keep him now? I don't know. Could this be him slowly phasing his way out of the NBA? I don't know. But I know that this wasn't the best look for what he did at all. And not as an NBA player, but as a man, I don't feel like throwing the ball at a woman, getting emotional in the game. I would have had to apologize, something to just try to make what happened right again. And maybe not everybody feels like that, but hey, that's me. Just don't be like that. MLB time. Gotta talk a little bit of MLB because I even caught a late game yesterday. I even caught the Braves Dodgers, which Dodgers put them on them. I think the Dodgers are probably gonna sweep in this little 3-game series, but I'm gonna start a little bit further back early in the day. Marlins, A's. A's scored 20 runs to the Marlins 4. The Marlins are a young team. Jazz Chisholm out there, Josh Bell. I remember watching Jazz talk about he's playing with his friends now, but they're 9-26. Yeah, it's the start of the season, but so far it's not looking too good for them. Could they be better? I don't know. But the A's hit 500 yesterday, 17-17, with that 20-run outburst. Brent Rooker at DH, 2 home runs, 5 RBI. Shea Langoliers goes yard. JJ goes yard. Brent Harris goes yard. And I was like, look at the A's, looking like something. Y'all still need to move up out of Oakland, though. We said it before on the podcast. Y'all still need to move up out of Oakland. Padres, Diamondbacks was a 13-1 game. I feel like it was just a bunch of teams. I feel like games were either really close yesterday or it was a blowout. You had like a 1-0, 2-0, and then you had games like the 20-4. You had the 13-1 Padres over the Diamondbacks. Padres had like 18 hits for 13 runs. Ha-Seong Kim and Profar went yard. Ha-Seong Kim, if you play MLB The Show, very good value player to pick up right now. Just gonna go ahead and throw that out there. That was a great game to watch. A lot of good hitting. Dodgers, Braves in the late game. Crazy game for Max Muncy, mashing 3 homers. I was like, kill him, Max. He was doing this thing while he was batting. Shohei even hit one. Andy Page hit one. Like I mentioned earlier, I think the Braves are going to get swept in this 3-game series. Braves, me and Rob had you guys going to the World Series. And I feel like the Dodgers are another team that could possibly be World Series bound. The Dodgers are looking good. Shohei is looking, even though Shohei isn't pitching, his hitting is pretty good. I want to say he's batting like 361, 325, something like that right now. He's looking good batting. That's a lot of great hope for Dodger fans. With that team, you guys are loaded over there. And with Shohei being on the mound and hitting, it's crazy. It could get crazy for them. Mookie Betts, Andy Page, out. That team is nice. I really like that Dodgers team, but I'm gonna stick by my word, and I have the Braves going to the World Series, winning this thing. That's what I'm gonna do. Even though I kind of love the showdown in Texas that they had last year, Houston and the Rangers, which wasn't the World Series, but to me it was the World Series before the World Series. You got to watch North Texas versus South Texas battle it out for that spot. Rangers wind up winning it. It was a beautiful thing. But I don't want to be too much of my baseball bag. Like I said, I don't want to keep you guys too long today. Um, Moving on, I have to address this because we addressed this on one of the previous episodes, if I'm not mistaken. We addressed this maybe 3 episodes ago or so, and I'm going to address it again. WNBA, you are about to drop your bag to a certain extent. You guys are coming into TV deals. You guys want money for the players. The players want a better split. It becomes a money and marketing thing. It becomes making people want to watch you. Okay. And me and Rob discussed this. Yeah, you guys aren't dunking. You guys don't want to lower rims because you guys feel like that's not basketball integrity, possibly. You're not going to want like a gimmick 4-point line or anything like that. So you have to market the players and the matchups. WNBA, heed my warning whenever I say this. You are going about this the wrong way, only televising Caitlin Clark's games. You have another star there. You have Angel Reese. Why are we not marketing this as Bird and Magic? You guys have the setup already. I don't think you guys are thinking. Now, granted, the draft commercials were very good. If none of you guys have seen the draft commercials that they had for the WNBA draft, they were creative. They were 90s. They were kind of funny. It showed that these people had personality. I want you guys to get your bag. I know that you don't want to see the men, but the men draw the money, and so can you. You just have to get to it. Now, getting back to what I was saying, you have Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever. That's Bird. You have Angel Reese, Chicago Sky. You have the girl who's in the blue collar town, the workman's town. The person who's out there, she's repping for the blue collar people of Indiana. And you have Angel Reese on the other side. She's on IG, she's fly, she's a model, she's on this, she's on that, she's high class, she wears the designer this, the bathing suits, everything else. You have the setup. You guys have the two people that you need to market. I think that you're losing sight of what was put forth already. The NBA has showed you how it had evolved. I'm gonna go back. Chamberlain, Russell. Then the next major era. Bird, Magic. Then you need your Michael, your person who's going to take it to the higher shoe deal level, the more commercials. And then you need more talent behind that that's going to get to prosper off of that, which the women will. But don't drop this bag. Every protagonist has an antagonist, every antagonist has a protagonist, every superhero has a villain or a set of villains. You have to work this in the right way. If you don't work it the right way, you're going to miss out on the money. You have prime marketing. Look at it. Pay attention. What's going on? Don't just televise Caitlin Clark. People want to see what's going on in the city. Chicago Sky, Andrew Reese. She's out there doing her thing. We're forgetting about it's her and Camila Cordoza teamed up together. The new Twin Towers, the supermodel. It's all written here for you guys. And you're not taking advantage of what's going on. You need to put Angel Reese on TV. Everybody, there is no such thing as all good in the world, and there's no such thing as all bad. There's always the yin and the yang, and you're missing your yang. You have the blue collar worker that people can gravitate to. Now put the high end supermodel there. Put the flashy person there. Let her personality shine for you guys. You need to be playing both sides of this. Not to mention, it's going to help get out your other talent. you guys forget, whenever you have two names, that could be two big time games playing and streaming all the time. You can have tonight Caitlin Clark against like the rookies, Jewel Lloyd, Cameron Brink. You have your Jackie Young, you got your Aja Wilson, you got your Breonna Stewart, you got your Skylar Diggins Smith, you got your Kalia Cooper. You have all these people, Brittany Griner. You're giving the people something that they want to see. People want the matchup. They want the marquee. Okay? I hate to say this, but David Ruffin was kind of right. You just ain't go here to see. Ain't nobody came here to just see you, Otis. People wanted to see David too. It was David Ruffin in the Temptations. Shout out to David Ruffin, rest in peace. But it was David Ruffin in the Temptations. You need the person that's going to play off of somebody else. Nobody plays off of one person. I can go to a game, and if it's a one-sided fight all the time, eventually I'm not going to want to see this. I'm going to even use another example in sports. Back during the great home run race, Sammy Sosa, Chicago Cub, Mark McGwire, St. Louis Cardinal, 70 home runs, 66 home runs. People were tuning in, two different sides of MLB. Is Sammy going to hit tonight? Is Mark going to hit tonight? You have to feed off of that for the public. You guys want money? This is your money, WNBA. This is your Larry Bird, Magic Johnson chance right now. Don't blow it. Don't blow it. Use this to get everybody paid. You think that they don't want to see Aja Wilson showdown against Angel Reese, showdown against a Caitlin Clark, Breonna Stewart? Does she have it tonight? Will she help lead her team over Angel Reese and Camila Cardozo tonight? You guys aren't playing the marquee matchups anymore. You have to play this. Remember, Mike was so good that everybody wanted to see how people were going to try to fight against Mike. It was the same thing with Larry. It was the same thing with Magic. And you have to capitalize off of this now. Put your streaming deal together. Get Angel Reese on there. If you don't do it this year, you got to figure out how to do it next year, especially if she has a good year next to Camila Cardozo in Chicago. And if Caitlin has one, you guys have to push this next year. You have to push the Magic versus Larry aspect of this and make the money. Get them women paid. You know that this is what everybody wants. This is all that comes down to, baby. They want the money. Help them get the money. I'm giving you the formula. And that's me right here, Price, Brumigos Podcast. I've already thought about it for you. Okay? Now, with that being said, like I said, I'm not going to keep you guys too long today because we don't have Rob. But I did want to give you something. Remember, we're always here. Brumigos Podcast is going to be up at the top today since I'm solo, baby. I'm rocking out. You know, I'm doing my Thug Thizzle today by myself, but always remember, Brumigos Podcast, Twitter. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube where this video is going to be up soon. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your people about me. And, yeah, I'm out today. Peace. Have a happy Sunday. And remember, tell somebody you love them. I'm out.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Brumigos Podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.